My friends, I wanted to jump in here real quick and make a video for MULN Automotive, ticker symbol MULN. Obviously, if you follow my channel a lot, the main thing that I cover is going to be AMC Entertainment. However, I think MULN is potentially lining up to be a really good play, so I wanted to cover my thoughts real quick on that. A bunch of people were asking me and DMing me for videos, so I wanted to make one. If we go over here, first thing I want to look at is going to be the option chain. So if we look at next week's option chain, calls right now in the money at the $1 strike, we've got 28,171 contracts, and once again that means 100 shares, so that's 2.8 million shares. And then at the 250 strike, there's 34,000 contracts, so that's 3.4 million shares. Puts as of right now at the $1, there's 20,000 open interest, and then only 1,100 at the 250 strike. So there's plenty of room to run. This option chain is absolutely loaded. Even if you go out and you look, like let's go to look at the April one. The 1 and the 250 strikes already have 11,000 and 13,000 contracts there, by far outweighing the puts. If we go out to July, there's 5,000 and 5,500. There's already even over 1,000 on the $5, the $7.50, and the $10, where once again the only major open interest is the $1 strikes. But at every level that you can go and look at, the calls by far and away outweigh the puts in this situation. So the option chain is just absolutely loaded. I got into this play purely from a technical standpoint. Anytime you got low float, or you got a small float and you've got high volume and you've got a stock that has just been beaten to death, it's definitely setting up for a gamma / squeeze play, and so that is why I got into it. Those of you that follow me for AMC, this is just a way for my dry powder to make it work, to make me capital. I always say my money needs to be working for me, and then of course I take profits and I go back in and I reinvest them for the most part into AMC and GME. So what I'm looking at on the chart is I tweeted out last night, this one right here. I tweeted out last night. It's a really good setup going into today. And if we go to the exact same, let's go apples to apples. On that 15-minute chart, man, it just played out absolutely perfectly. Once again, for all the TA doesn't work people, just shut up. We had this downtrend right here. So we had lower highs being made. We had higher lows being made. Everything coming to a point. Came down here. Actually gapped down this morning. Tested that lower range. And then boom. Get in here real close so you can just see why TA works. Had a perfect breakout, an almost perfect retest. Then it came down here, retested again before pushing back up. The big push up happened with solid volume. That validates the move to me. And then right here at the end of the day, we also had a ton of volume pour in at the end of the day. Right now, post-market looks like it's up another about 4 cents or so. Yep, about 4 cents, 1.39. So going into next week, I'm going to be very bullish on this stock to see what happens, what I'm going to be looking for indicator-wise. So I'm going to go back to the daily chart. Once again, as you can see right here, just massive bullish engulfing candle with volume to come along with it. Volume was at 237 million shares traded today. That's awesome. So indicator-wise, let's go look at the RSI. So the RSI right now, as you can see right here, once it got down here where MULN was down in the 50-cent area, just massively oversold. And even now, even after a big run all the way from, let's see here, from February 24th, from 50 cents all the way up to, so like a 150% move, right? Yeah, about 150% move, almost. Well, let's be exact. I like to be exact around here. So 182% move, okay? Even now, the RSI on the daily still has room to run. It's not even at average. So 50 on the RSI is pretty neutral. So it's still got room to move on the RSI. So that is awesome. Room to run. If you look at the MACD, we actually had a bullish divergence. So right here on March 8th, even as the price came down, the MACD never did anything but keep moving up. So even as price came down, the MACD kept moving upwards. So overall, this next week, it looks very nice. Another thing that you can look at is what's called the VPVR, or the visible range. And what that does, and why I was so confident in this play, and I bought in. So I originally bought in at the gap fill at like $1.03 or $1.05, and then I bought more this morning. If you pull up the visible range, it shows you that the point of control is that 94-cent level. And look, we came right down here, touched it one more time before really rocketing off throughout the day. So clean breakout right here. I anticipate continued movement upwards. People are already doing the what's your price target, what's your price target. So I always factor in my price targets. I'm going to go down here to the 15-minute chart again. So here's how I would be looking at figuring out price targets. And that is going to be, I'm going to do the fib extension. So you go from your lowest to your highest, back down to your lowest, and these are going to tell you, and look at that, the 0.5 right there, almost a perfect rejection before coming down, and the 382 acting as support before pushing back up. So right in here, your most commons like the 1.618s, so that's going to be the $3.05. As always, guys, this is a risky play, so you need to make sure that you take profits along the way. You need to trade your plan. Nothing I say is financial advice. It's for education and entertainment purposes only. Another really solid bullish thing that you can look at is if you go to your EMAs. If we go to the daily, this is going to be the first time that MULN has closed above its 20-day EMA since all the way back here on November 17th. So a move back up towards the 50-day around that $2.63. That's going to be some resistance along the way. But overall, just their battery technology alone, I've been saying, I think they've got a solid state battery. So I'm digging more and more and more into the fundamental aspect of this play. But I do think it was a very solid play purely from a technical standpoint. I'm already up a lot on it, and I continue to hope to be so. Like I said, guys, if the video is ever helpful to you, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. But other than that, have a great weekend. We'll see how it goes.